anyway. No, didn't come. Okay, right. So can I just remind members of what we would have to do, right? If we need to go to the recommendation, and that recommendation at paragraph 9.1 on page 102 of our agenda is that the Planning Committee decline issuing of a provisional TPO for the reasons outlined in this report, and that dated 1st of November 2024, which is the appendix. So we can vote on that, and if members do not agree with that, in other words, they vote against the wish that the recommendation to decline, then we would need to take a motion to vote for. So we would have to take a motion to serve the TPO. So we will have to do that step by step. Well, I know it's complicated. That's why I was describing it first. We have to vote on this recommendation first, which is to decline the TPO. Right? So if that passes, we will decline the TPO. If, however, that fails, we will then have to take a motion to serve the TPO. Am I right? That's right. Rise first.
I mean, I think I might, and then Rebecca might as well, but obviously the recommendation, if members vote on this proposition firstly, and members decide to go against the officer recommendation, then that just fails to decline, and so therefore to do something active and actually make the TPO, member will need to propose, member will have to second, and then that will be to actually create the document, which is the provisional TPO for 6 months, and then subject to that being confirmed.
Yeah. Right. This is why this process is quite complicated when the recommendation is for refusal. Do you want to summarise?
I can clarify the officer recommendation, which will be what the vote is taken on. So officer recommendation is that Planning Committee decline issuing of the provisional TPO for the reasons that are set out in the report, which have been debated, and also for that report that's appended, Appendix 1, which is dated the 1st of November 2024.
So we need a seconder for this recommendation to decline. We haven't got a seconder yet. Yes, okay. So we need somebody to, well, the officer has recommended.
Oh, so that's in the report, so that's just taken as
the recommendation.
And if anyone's doing anything contrary to that, that's where then the proposal and second comes in. So I would take the vote on.
Would anybody like to, just since there's some difference of view here, would anybody like to recommend the recommendation as at number 9? Is that Councillor Fane proposing?
No, I am proposing that we move to a vote on the officer recommendation.
Yes, and I'm just trying to establish whether we need a seconder for it.
Yeah, you do.
You do? Okay, so we do. We have a seconder for it. So thank you, Councillor Hawkins. Right. So let's move to a vote on the officer recommendation to decline. I will just say, members, that if you wish to decline this TPO recommendation, sorry, if you want to agree with the officer and decline, you press green, okay? If you don't agree with the officer and you think we should be doing something different, then you press red. We should have 10. 6, 7, here we are. So that's 2 in favour, 7 against, and 1 abstention. So that falls. So now we need anyone to make a recommendation to serve the TPO. Would anybody like? So Councillor Richard Williams, do you have a seconder? Is that fair? Councillor Fane? So Councillor Peter Fane is seconding. So Erin, can you run us a vote for serving the TPO? And forgive me, I'm the provisional TPO. And with your discretion, I will say that if you wish to serve the TPO, you vote green. Just because two negatives. Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that is 7 in favour, 1 against, and 2 abstaining. So that is carried. Thank you very much, members, for that complicated vote.